Hello everyone, it's Isabel here. I hope you're all doing well. I've come on to share a new deck with you, a deck that I've taken out of the packaging that it came in, but not really looked through yet. This is the second time I've tried to film this so far because I can't really get the lighting right, but I hope it'll be okay. And I do apologise if it's a bit gloomy or anything. But I think it's better now. I've put a different light on and I'm starting again. So the deck that I want to share with you is called the Earth Alchemy Oracle. And this is a deck that's been created by Katie Jane Wright, and the illustrator is Nikki Strange. So back in February last year, one of my earliest decks was this Spirit Animal Wisdom. Now I can't remember for the life of me how I came across this deck, what led me to purchase it. But I do remember that I bought it directly from Nikki Strange. So Nikki is UK based. Katie Jane sort of channels the messages and the feel through her intuition for these decks, and Nikki then illustrates them. And I was drawn to the illustrations of this deck, a 50 card deck, and this was all animal based. And as I say, I've used it a few times actually. This particular one was printed by Octopus Books, and it was a 50 card deck, and it was more about animal guides. Buying it direct from Nikki's Etsy shop, I think I got a couple of other bits. She does some nice stationery, and it was just nice to buy it directly from one of the people involved in creation. So the Spirit Animal Wisdom, if you don't know it, I'm not sure if I've shown it in, I think I have shown it in some videos, has this beautiful mad coloured backs, and on each card you get a gorgeous illustration of an animal, and then you get the name, you get some elemental associations, and a little phrase, and the guidebook itself again has some of that in, and it also has a crystalline companions. And I always like these cards. I think what I really like it in some ways is the illustrations that Nikki's done. I really like her illustrations of the animals. I think they're really beautiful. They're really nice settings. They're very simple. They're not too kind of stylized or anything. The phrases, so like here's an eagle, you get ancestral healing. Your ancestors are holding space for you to heal your past. I think the messages really fit. I don't think that this is too obtrusive because you've got a beautiful picture. The only thing that I find with these is that they are incredibly thin, really, so they're a bit flimsy, I find. So you know, they're going to be easily bent or easily creased, but I do love them. I do love the artwork. So I was following Nikki on Instagram, having enjoyed this deck, and realised that she was talking about a new deck, and that was the Earth Alchemy Oracle. So once again, it's an oracle by Katie Jane. This time she sort of channeled crystal energy and light and flowers and plants and trees, and she's talking about plants representing growth, flowers discovery, crystals depth, and they've basically putting them together to help a person dive deeper into past lives, work with the elements, on thinking about earth. I've been really drawn to try and connect a little bit more with kind of earthly energy. I am a Virgo, and I think I felt like this need to ground a bit more with that earthly energy, so I was really drawn to this. I don't have a crystal deck because I kind of like having, I've never been drawn to a deck that just has a single crystal on and a word, because I like having my crystals to hold, to channel the energy directly, to feel the temperature, to feel the shape. So this is a beautiful piece of tiger's eye I picked up in a local metaphysical shop. You know, it's a really nice one actually for holding, and then I have like a lapis lazuli mahaba star, or maybe you've got my moss agate moon, you know. So I love having my crystals to hold, and I'll sit and play with them. They're almost like a fidget toy sometimes. So I've never really been drawn to decks that just had crystals on, but I really liked the energy that was coming off the cards I'd seen that Nikki was sharing, and I felt like I knew that the messages would work for me. and it's published by Watkins Publishing, so it's a slightly different publisher this time, but I just kind of felt like it was one I wanted to go for. It's only recently come out, so I ordered it probably, I think it was about a day before it was due to be released, to be honest. I ordered it again from Nikki on Etsy because then I was supporting her directly. Being in the UK, I didn't suffer much from postage charges, but it also, I bought a couple of little notebooks from her at the same time for using in my work with the decks. It arrived a few weeks ago. It was around about Easter time, actually, while I was away. So it's been sat waiting. Another nice thing about getting it direct from Nikki was that rather than coming in an anonymous brown envelope from Amazon, it came in an envelope with a sticker on that said magic inside, wrapped in tissue paper with some beautiful postcards along with it as a little extra. So it was just nice to spend a couple more pounds to get that, you know, direct feel of love and care from one of the creators. So it's like the other one, it's a two-part box. I have taken the cards out already, so we'll look at those in a minute. It's very simple inside. There's nothing fancy this time. So what's interesting is it's slightly different to the other box. The boxes appear to be, the Spirit Animal Wisdom box is ever so slightly wider, which suggests to me that we're going to find that the cards are a different size. So a Spirit Animal Wisdom, they had this little insert at the bottom. With this deck, they have this insert here. Now, to be honest, you probably could take this out if you didn't like it, but then your cards are going to rattle around. One or two cards did get a little bit stuck, and I was worried about damaging getting them out, but I managed to get them out in the end. And to be honest, I think it won't be a huge problem. But as I say, I reckon you could probably take that out if you didn't like that, or you could kind of create your own. You could take some of it out, maybe on one side or something. So that's just the box. Decent strong box. It's got a bit bashed already from me, but it is what it is. So the deck came again, that beautiful picture. This just drew me in straight away, the way this crystal is responding to the plants around it, and it's just, oh, it's so earthly. And then you have the deck. So the deck is most definitely smaller. In fact, let's put the book to one side. We'll look at that in a minute. The deck is most definitely smaller than the other deck. So I don't think I even need to show you, but you can see straight away, just holding that up, that there's a significant space. It is also thicker. So perhaps they've taken on some feedback, perhaps by going to a different publisher. We've got a much thicker, I can't demonstrate it very well, but we've got a thicker, sturdier deck. It feels slightly glossier, but it's not shiny glossy. I mean, you're not getting to a reflection. You're getting a teeny bit, but not much. And the backs, once again, a psychedelic, beautiful sense of like the crystals and the earth. You know, it could be a crystal of citrine or channeling from, you know, there's even, actually, look, there's even a little face. If you're bothered about reversals, they're not reversible, but I tend to think with an oracle like this, you know, reversals don't really come into it, but that's just my choice. If you wanted it to be the same, then, you know, that's your decision. But to be honest, you know, it doesn't bother me. I think they're very beautiful. It's same size, 50 cards as the other deck. It's the same style, so you have a beautiful picture, and then at the bottom you have the title. So you have what the crystal and what the plant is focused on, a little sort of a mantra type phrase, affirmation, and a few keywords and an element. And straight away, I just think, how beautiful is that? You know, the crystal is being kind of combined with the beauty of the nature around it, rather than just being a crystal on a white piece of card. I have no problem with other people having those decks. Please don't get me wrong. For me, it just doesn't work. And that is why I've chosen this to look at for a plant and crystal deck. So please don't get, I don't want to offend anyone, and I hope no one is. This is my choice and my decision. So just putting that out there in case anyone thinks I'm being harsh. So yeah, so I've got 50 cards. So what I'm going to do is I'll zoom in a little bit so we can have a look at each of the cards together. I'll probably talk through with it. I quite like kind of reacting to what I see, and then we'll have a little look at the guidebook. Okay, so here we have, and what, so I'm just, yeah, okay, so it looks like you're going to get the crystal name coming first. So here we have aquamarine and white lily, and look, you've got this beautiful watery scene, so you've got go with the flow, divine mother, Shekinah flow, detached. So, you know, you can kind of decide. It'd be interesting to see in the book if it talks more about what associates with the crystal and what associates with the plant. I suppose some people wouldn't like it combined, because they'd be like, well, I've got to work with the energy of one or the other. Septarium nodules, so I don't know much about these, but you've got this beautiful pattern here. You've got all sorts going on around it. You can see here all these little extra bits. I think I'm going to have to look quite closely at the guidebook with each of these cards, to be honest, but I'll just have a look through them for now. So this says wave shower, shake up the system, cellular upgrades. Oh, obsidian and hellebore. Wow, look at that. So Nikki's, I think she's caught quite well the kind of sense of a crystal that has different shades to it, different lights. I think it's nice with it being kind of, you know, it's hand painted. Shadow mirror. Diamond heart seed crystal. The crystal in the middle. Golden age wisdom, DNA activation. Garnet and lady's mantle, and look at the kingfisher here. So not only have we got plants, but occasionally we've got a bird or an animal as well. Azurite and orchid. So as I say, these are all channeled, so you know the choice of what goes with what will be a link between the flowers and the crystal. And here you've got the star sign, and I'm afraid I can't remember which one that is, so tough. Anandalite and lemon balm. I've never heard of that crystal. I have heard of lemon balm, of course. Integrating energies. Jade and pink lotus. Sink into silence. The diamond ray. So yeah, this one's got the earth behind it, you see, and that looks almost like a DNA activation chain or something. Crystal grid. So here we've got so there's a real variety in these cards. Actually, it's not all just a crystal and a plant. You're getting a bit of variety as well. So, and maybe like this could be taken out, and you could kind of use that to central and put other crystals around it and almost create a crystal grid with that at the center. Pixie helpers and green aventurine. So we've got some toadstools. Look, there's a little key. There's some little pixie wings here. Little frog here, or toad. Golden Libyan tektite. These are really beautiful drawings. I'm not reading all the keywords out because we'd be here forever. The green man and moss agate, ritual and cemetery. Isn't that ceremony? Sorry. So that's pretty. You can see the green man in there. Citrine and dandelion, make a wish. Rose quartz and olive tree. The roses here and the crystal. Mushroom magic, look at those, all the mushrooms and the energy going through there. Amethyst and passion flower, violet flame. I think there's going to be a lot to read into these cards. They're going to be selenite and willow tree. You've got these goddesses sat here, like, you know, in a female circle here, rites of passage. I think these have got a lot more in them in terms of actually studying them. And understanding what the intuitiveness is and where it's come from. There's a little bee on the fruit there. And another bee, look, emerald and milk thistle. Labradorite and blue lotus flower. Psychic gifts, wise sage awareness, call to action. I love the way she's put the labradorite in the flower. Ethiopian opal, look. Unicorns. Pegasus, no less, actually. Secret garden. So again, a bit like the crystal grid. You've got a different card here, a sacred space, so you could use that, or that might encourage you to take more out. Grandmother Moonstone. These, if nothing else, these cards are really beautiful. The Empress Tree. They're going to look really beautiful, like, you know, on a card stand just to look at in the day and reflect on. And having, you know, Rhodonite and Mamakako. Petalite. Some of these I've never heard of, so I'm going to do some research, I'm sure. Apophyllite and Alchemy. I don't think this is going to be a deck that, you know, is just going to be get out and use really quickly. I think this, and I'm, oh, Crystal Dragon and the egg. It's interesting because I think, you know, some decks you just get out and you start using and it's fine. I think this one's going to require me to really study the book a little bit and be really, but I really like the groundedness of it. I really like these pictures, are so beautiful. The way they've been done and channeled. I mean, I'm sure someone will tell me, well, that crystal might not look like that or whatever, but, you know, that's again, oh, look at that with the snowdrop, resurrection. And the words go quite nicely, actually. Resurrection, you've got commitment, purification, devotion, which I think is really beautiful. Fulgurite and rosebay, willow herb. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some research here. Blue kyanite and honeysuckle. Sword of Truth. Oh, look, you've got the kyanite as a sword coming down here. Can you see? There's the handle and the sword. Fairies, orders, rest. I hope you can see these okay. If you want me to go back to any of the cards at any point, let me know. You know, I can go to a comment, I can make another video or take some snaps and post them up on something like Instagram. Pearl and Larimar. Let go. Surrender, release. Dolphins in that one. Turquoise and forget-me-not. Balance. So there you've got the turquoise as the background, actually, haven't you? Lava stone and red hot poker. That's cool. My body is a safe space. Lilac, spirit, quartz. So some of them don't have all, you know, it's a nice mixture actually. It's not all just, oh, here's, oh, sorry, I think that was a bit out of shot. Apologies. Green epidote and star jasmine. I mean, I suspect some people would say, well, why have you got that card that's not just a crystal and flower and stuff? So, you know, it's going to be each to their own, isn't it? You know. Prezelli bluestone. So if you don't know, I think this is the material they believe Stonehenge was made from. So, and they believe that they now believe there was another site in Wales similar to Stonehenge. So you've got this kind of sense of Stonehenge, of a druid circle, dragon energy. I like that card. Candle quartz and bleeding heart. So definitely going to be a lot to research here. I'm not going through the keywords because I'll just be here forever. And I love just these hints of some of the things where there's people or... well, these are really beautiful cards. I'm glad I got this. I'm just really liking the images. I think you could sit there for hours just... These would be good for a meditation, actually, you know, for me to really focus on, or when I'm doing my yoga and we have a meditation at the end, it's an image I could perhaps bring to my head. And Sanctuary and Light and Mugwort. Little dragon again. So, 50 very, very beautiful cards. Let's just zoom out a little teeny bit. Whoops, wrong way. Out a bit. And then I can just have a quick look at the guidebook. So I've just flicked through those. I know some people, I'm not sure if that's a bit quick. So the guidebook actually got a couple of blank pages at the end. So 123, so about the author and the illustrator at the end. And then for each card, you've got a write-up. There aren't pictures, but at the end of the day, you don't need it because the picture is there. Yes, so for each, I've jumped, haven't I? Let's go back to the start. So, the only thing is, here, there's not a specific clear order to the cards. They don't look like they're in alphabetical order. So that could be annoying. Oh well. This deck is dedicated to the earth, all of her kingdoms and treasures, to the ancestors that came before us and paved the way, and to the rainbow and crystal children coming to earth at this time. May they all guide us with that lightness of heart and spirit this world so needs right now. So there's an introduction here. A ceremony for awakening the magic of the deck. So there's a kind of ritual. So I might have to do that perhaps. Working with the medicine of the deck. Hold it to your heart and your intent. The symbols. The Fae folk have asked that 5 golden keys are hidden within the deck. They say that when you find a key, the fairies wish to speak to you directly. They will give you a sign. Your fairy guide will visit you with something to show you. I saw a key in one of the cards. Wow, okay. 7 colour rays of the scented master. You see, this is the thing. There's all sorts in this deck. So look, this isn't just a lightweight crystal deck. The depth is colour energy here. Energy of plant and crystal. And then you've got some spreads, chakra spreads, element spreads, earth dragon spread, air dragon. And then you've got the cards. So there's a lot of Fae energy in this. Let me just... So here we've got one that's got the plant and the crystal. So yes, there's a couple of paragraphs on each. And it then talks about how they work together, which is really good as well. So here, for example, what apophyllite does, an elemi, and relates it to the crystal. That's really good. So they're not done as separate. They are actually, although she separates them for the paragraphs, they work together. That's a really good write-up. And it's not just this crystal does this. There's a real feel of that intuition and that coming to her of the picture. The end, there's just some acknowledgements to the authors as well. This is going to be a real deep dive. And it's funny, isn't it? You don't think it is. I thought it was just going to help me ground. I thought it was just a pretty deck. I can see this needing a little bit of study, which means it's probably going to add to the pile that doesn't get used for a while. But anyway, I hope you've liked it. I'm going to have to go. So if anyone wants me to perhaps pull a card and we can work on it, read it together, I'm happy to do that. I might, hopefully I will... get to use it at some point and I can tell you how that goes. In the meantime, I need to do some more videos. I've got a couple of VRs I'm thinking of responding to in due course, so hopefully I'll see you again soon. But for now, take care, and I hope that this deck gives you a sense of peace today.